Hello, welcome back to my channel. This video is functioning both as both a passion project and a video for my channel. I'm going to post it on both. It's about hurricanes and really about weather in general because that's my passion and that's what I'm about. And to start things off, I'm going to go over one of the biggest parts of weather, which is going to be this right here. This is live satellite data. And as you can see, this is a just clean LWIR data here, so probably not going to know what that is, but it's a specific band of satellite. You can kind of see in depth on storm structure, storm size, and what type of height of cloud, type of coolness of the cloud you could be packing here. What's of note here? Right here, it's actually picking up on fog, kind of forming around Lake Michigan. So you can see a lot of cloud totals kind of picking up over there, some lighter colors there, some blues, some greens. You have these greens that are crashing northward here over Nevada. This just happens to be the weather right now. And you have this stream of moisture here coming straight out of the Pacific, kind of goes over Mexico, goes over Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee here, you stream of moisture. You have this little area of elevated convection here in Alabama. Those are actually thunderstorms. Same here in Louisiana. It's just a kind of good way to see satellite. This is the visible blue spectrum, and as you can see, the sun here kind of setting, so what's dark over here is night, and what's light over here is day. So California's in day, and let's say somewhere like Pennsylvania's in the dark, and this is kind of a good way to show time zones. You can kind of see how that band kind of goes across the United States. I don't know, I thought that was very cool. But yeah, you can still see the stream of moisture on this band as well. But the main thing that meteorologists can use is these right here. These are weather models. This is the Canadian model. And as you can see, all these models are different ways to look at future radar. Here's the HER model. So as you can see, this is the HER model. Kind of shows rain. Doesn't really show the difference between types of precipitation. Go get some light snow tonight in your Huntsville. It's kind of possible. And you sort of see that stream of heavier convection right here coming right out of Louisiana and into Alabama. There could be some heavier thunderstorms, some frequent lightning and rain tonight. Just a general forecast, but turning it to hurricanes, weather models also play a big role. But before doing so, let's take a look at what a hurricane can do, right? Because when you look at a hurricane, it's something very powerful, something very strong, something that's scary. And this is kind of a great way to look at that. So here is a town in Jamaica called Black River. You can see almost complete destruction of the whole town. Look at the debris scattered, the roofs taken off homes here. And just as you keep on going, like, look at this. This is borderline EF4 damage. Like, look, in a hurricane eye wall, which is where the strongest winds are, we'll talk about that later. This is what can be done, especially with the Category 5. Debris is just scattered. Homes are almost gone. Roofs are taken off. Roads could even be damaged. Very strong stuff. As you can see, the water likely came in here. It came surging in. You can even see debris in the ocean. And likely came into this whole area, flooded all the way up. We keep on going up, and there's still extreme damage. Look at the trees. These trees are not standing straight. This is complete debarking, deneutering of the trees here. The trees are just completely mangled beyond recognition, and this goes straight into the forest, the swamp. Here's a little river that works up Jamaica, and just the trees all alongside it are just slammed down straight into the ground. And just completely damaged. And there's villages along Jamaica too. Take a look at this village. As we kind of zoom in here, there's another little section of road right around here, and you can see more of the same. The trees are heavily mangled in this area. Definitely not a survivable situation when it comes to wind. Though people in Black River did survive, a lot of them had extreme damage to their homes. Take a look at this. The roof is taken off. You can see the roof trusses here actually exposed in the home as the hurricane moved past. Trees of the neighboring yards are scattered into the yards hundreds and hundreds of yards away. And some of these destroyed homes, like this one right here, couldn't really stand to the wind, as well as this one. This one actually took some EF3 level damage. It was very bad. And the debris here got windrowed through the fields. So as the debris came in, it smashed into these homes. And that's why you see some more crazy damage. Trusses exposed here, just very bad stuff. Look at the field, it's just littered with debris. We can zoom in even closer here, and this is Orchard Drive. So right down this drive is just destruction of a very high caliber. Kind of move up here. Look, this is what was a cul-de-sac, just completely gone. And overall, the town of Black River did take an extremely vicious hit from this hurricane. Even getting into the town square, like this is where the center stuff, right? There's still extreme damage here. Look at this. This whole building here, this left building, look, cars are just scattered. The wind came in and just ripped all the debris across this road, ripped it into this building. This building is bent into a V shape as the metal was shifted because of the extreme wind speed. This is definitely tornado level damage as that hurricane core moved in. This is the enhanced Vegeta scale. So this is not the hurricane scale. That's from category 1 to category 5. This is the enhanced Vegeta scale. This is for measuring tornadoes. Hurricane Melissa had observed. So they flew into it with a plane, flew right through the center. Observed wind speeds of well over 200 miles an hour. And that's why you see such extreme damage in that area, is because of just extremely intense winds that were there. You can't stand it. People start to fall at 86 miles an hour. Very few people can stand at 86 miles an hour. 111 miles an hour, most people are thrown and slammed into something or lofted in the air. Even cars can start to be lofted in the air. 136 miles an hour, we're talking about EF3, buildings lost. We're starting to see extreme damage to buildings, okay? Buildings are being pushed sideways, walls are being blown in, windows are being blown out, that's a given. Roofs are being taken off. EF4, the whole building's gone. Yeah, complete destruction. There might be a couple walls standing, but that's about it. Everything's going to be sandblasted. Catastrophic EF5, there's nothing you can do. The whole building is wiped out. EF5s have been noted for when Ted Vegeta used to rate them, which is the guy who invented this. If there was nothing to rate, and you had to do a visual reconstruction of the city because nothing else was left, it would deserve an EF5 rating. So this is the anatomy of a hurricane. One of the most famous things in a hurricane right here is the eye. That's the clear center. So hurricanes notably have to have a warm center, because if it were to have a cold center, then it would just be like a normal area of low pressure that could cause thunderstorms. We've all learned about that 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. That is taught, but this warm center is not taught as much. Basically, when a hurricane forms, it forms near the equator, starts to spin as it goes into one of the two hemispheres, and they can move into land that way. So you get this warm center of sinking air. So you get the cold outer center, that's the eye wall, extremely strong winds. As you see storms, fiercest winds. You have the spiraling storm clouds. So this is kind of the cirrus top that's on the top of the hurricane. Massive systems, way bigger than tornadoes. Tornadoes or maybe a mile wide at most. This type of situation, you can get up to 300 miles wide. Exhaust. So the hot air kind of leaves the eye and kind of floats up into the upper atmosphere. Spiraling winds counterclockwise. That's right there at the surface. This is where they form. You see this kind of red line right here. Those warm waters, U.S. and Africa. That's kind of your main development tropical region where you can have these storms to form. Again, going back to Hurricane Melissa, take a look at this video. So this is not on the shore. This is just the Georgetown, Bahamas. But you can really see there's still intense winds with this hurricane, even though it just went over a massive area of land, which is quite impressive. Look at just the damage here in Cuba. Extreme damage. Look, the ground is messed up. The trees are gone. This lady she didn't even know where she is. Like, how do you know what road this is? There's no road to be seen. It's covered in dirt. You can kind of see the residents who are very impacted by this hurricane. This is what a Category 5 hurricane can do. This is just terrible damage for everyone involved. Apparently, one Cuban resident said a giant rock crashed through the front of his house. This is just from intense wind. The rock was thrown and went through his home and out the back door, probably. So this is why we need to watch out for hurricanes. Finally, to end this video off, I'm going to say that the National Weather Service does their job. When they issue a hurricane warning, they give you hours, if not days, to react to the hurricane warning. They've even marked evacuation zones working with the U.S. government so that people can evacuate their homes at the risk of intense winds or floodwater. That's very important because if people weren't able to evacuate the Jamaican hurricane and Black River, those roofs being soaked off would have probably sucked them out too. They had to go to these special shelters in Jamaica that were further away from the strongest winds. And as you can see right now, there's just some warnings, some winter storm warnings and advisories out here in some of the mountains. National Weather Service is really keeping track of anything. So if you ever see a National Weather Service employee, just know that they're doing their job. And they're trying their best. There's been some ups and downs with the system lately, but overall, the whole thing is managed very well, especially when it comes to hurricanes.